Canon FD50 costs much less than the Summicron 50. I bought mine for $35, which compared to a price tag of around $450 is a significant price difference. But how does the Canon FD compare to the Leica Summicron? Let's find out. The Leica Summicron 50mm f2 is by far one of my favorite vintage 50mm lenses. It's incredibly well built and manufactured to last. This lens has by far the smoothest focus pull out of all the others I've tested so far, with hard stops on either end, and a substantial manual aperture ring that snaps easily into each stop. That being said, the Canon FD50 is one of my least favorite lenses in terms of its build quality. Compared to the vintage lenses, it feels more clunky than most. While the focus pull is smooth with hard stops on either end, it has a shorter throw, which makes it much harder to dial in the focus. The manual aperture on my version is very sticky and requires a lot of muscle to make quick f-stop adjustments. My least favorite feature of this lens, though, is its inability to mount to the camera. It takes a long time to marry the two notches together before twisting the lens on. It's a frustrating system which severely slows down my ability to make quick lens changes in the field. That, paired with the silly open and lock function on the adapter, makes this lens almost impossible to use without a headache. For this comparison, I used Fotasy's Leica R to micro four thirds and Canon FD to micro four thirds adapters, attaching them to my GH4 camera. It's no surprise that the Leica R adapter is much easier to attach and detach. Right from the start, it's very clear that the Canon FD produces images with much more contrast than the Leica Summicron. This may bode well for shooting video that you're not too keen to color correct later on, but having images with less contrast and more detail make professional color correction adjustments a breeze. Personally, I love how the Leica R renders color and clarity within its images, and while the Canon FD does a good job of keeping up, it simply does not match within these comparisons. This is most apparent at lower aperture settings. Flaring is an issue with the Leica Summicron, while the Canon FD has an anti-flare coating on the front lens element. You will need to buy a lens hood or matte box for your Summicron if you plan to shoot a lot outdoors. Overall, both lenses are good buys, but the Canon FD cannot keep up with the quality of a Leica Summicron lens. In this case, I believe a Summicron lens like this is worth every penny because I know I will be using it for many years to come. It produces the sharpest looking image across the entire frame, produces very little distortion within the corners, and renders colors unlike any other lens out there. The Canon FD is still a great value when you compare price to performance. It creates very sharp images with high contrast at f2.8 and above, but it simply does not compare in quality to the Summicron 50. It's an investment up front, but you'll be pleased with the image quality and it will last you a lifetime. Click on the links provided to learn more about these lenses, and as always, feel free to subscribe for more filmmaking reviews and tutorials from yours truly. Thanks for watching.